What a great set. That was awesome, dude. You were talking about texting a little bit, how it's not okay to text while having sex. Is it okay to tweet while having sex? I'm having sex right now. Hashtag money. LOL, hashtag money. Instagram, oh, you motherfucker. Holy fuck. This next comic we have coming to the stage, it's my first time seeing him here. I don't know if it's his first time doing comedy. It is his first time doing comedy.
I'm a virgin. I'm a virgin. Be gentle.
He's also a virgin.
Be gentle.
Everybody be very gentle and loving, and just if he wants you to hold him
Tender.
after, just that's what he needs.
Yeah.
So give a warm welcome and round of applause to Joel Elliott, everybody.
And how coincidental is it that this is my virginity losing story that I'm coming to you with tonight? Thank you, Rocket City. You guys are amazing. This is a nerdy town. I love it. Huntsville, Alabama. How in the hell did I get here? It's really a little fuzzy. It's been a bumpy ride. But again, my name is Joel Elliott. That's Elliott with 2 L's and 2 T's. Friend me on Facebook or something. That would be terrific. Now that we're all friends, I want to make one thing clear. Rape is not funny. It's hilarious. Okay, now stick with me for a second. Any other people been raped in this bar that want to call themselves out with a show of hands? Okay, you sir. Wonderful. All right, this is going to be awkward. Let me set the scene. I went to Arlington Baptist School in Baltimore City. Okay, this school put the fun in fundamentalism. We're talking 6,000-year-old Earth, no sex till marriage, the whole shebang. And because we're teenagers being told every single day, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex. We talked about sex all the time, you know. I had this friend, Vicky Matthew, we used to have a bet. Could a man be raped, basically, is the bet. And we all know Catholics, so yeah, we know a man can be raped. But we're talking about like traditional, coital, feminist rape. Can a woman rape a man? That was the bet. And my argument was, no. I mean, there are certain things that have to happen. And if I'm thinking like, no, I don't want this, nothing's gonna happen. Her argument is, if she's working hard on it, you got no choice. It's gonna be up, ready, and you know. So we go back and forth on this for like a year, and eventually we're like, okay, until we can prove it, let's just set it at $5. Whoever wins, wins. Okay. So some years later, it's 1996. I'm going to college now. I'm staying in the dorm. I've recently been diagnosed with a debilitating personality disorder. So like my life is just chaos, absolute chaos. I'm washing down heavy psychiatric medication with liquor, which, as you can imagine, did not go too terribly well. So when I get to the college, first thing I do, of course, the first thing they do is gather you into an auditorium, all the freshmen, and it's like the Oprah show. A guy with a big bucket comes out, a bucket full of condoms, just throwing condoms at the kids, you know? Like, you get a condom, and you get a condom, and you get a fist full of condoms. So we're all leaving this, and we're all talking about sex, because somebody just threw a bunch of condoms at our face. And what I decided to do with this is establish a union. Because there are 2 types of virgins. There's the type of virgin that says, oh, well, I never think about sex at all because I'm going to save this for my true love and when I get married. And then there's the type of virgin that tells the truth, that I'm really horny because I've never had sex. And so I find those virgins, and I gather them together, and I become the president of the Virgin Whore Union at UMBC. And I was a smart teenage boy, that's right. So, you know, I've gathered all of these virgin girls and a few guys. They were welcome too. And I'm the president of the union. We have meetings, everything. There's like 2 dozen of those. We almost printed shirts. It was really like an official thing, the Virgin Whore Union. So a few months into the union's, you know, life, I meet this redhead. And she's very fit, you know, very fit redhead. She comes up to our dorm one night and she's like, hey, I've seen you around. I'm like, yeah, I've seen you around. She's like, I got some vodka. I'm like, oh, do you? And she pulls it out, and it's plastic bottle vodka. I don't know if any of you have ever had vodka out of a plastic bottle. It is the harshest, nastiest thing that you could ever. For some reason, the plastic bottle of vodka is just the worst. So we're jamming on this vodka, okay? Couple of the members of the union, and this girl, and me. And at the end of the night, she's like, well, I don't really want to go home. Is it okay if I stay with you tonight? I'm like, sure. Come up to my room. My roommate will be there, so we have to be quiet. And I'm saving myself for marriage, so nothing can happen now. And just keep that in mind. So she agrees. We go up to the room. We get into my little, cozy thing. I've got like the bed wrapped in blankets because again, I've got a severe personality disorder, and so I've got this little bat cave that I've created out of my bunk, and we crawl into that little cocoon, and we're there snuggling, everything's fine. She starts making moves, and I'm expecting a little of that, and that's fine. Starts kissing, everything's fine. Then she starts making moves towards other areas, and I'm like, hey, this. I told you, nothing's gonna happen, okay? And she goes, shut up. And this is where I know that I'm in trouble, okay? I'm like, my roommate is right over there. We can't do this. And she goes, shut up. Grabs my head and moves it to her area, okay? Now, I'm not a gourmet at this time of my life. I'm a complete virgin. I have never gotten into the culinary aspects of sexuality. So, all I know is my face is there, and, my hair is, like, being just torn out by the roots while she's just moving me, she's just using me basically as her sex party toy, thing. And once she's had enough of that, I'm now back on my back. And this is absolutely true, people. I cannot stress that more. She then decides she's going to work on my area. She gets down there and just starts working. And this is where I discovered that Victoria Matthew was right. There is nothing you can do. If she's working hard on it, it's there, okay? So she gets that going, and then she mounts like an animal, And now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm having sex now. I was not intending to have sex tonight. And it's happening. So I do the only thing that I can do to empower myself, and I last as long as you, sir, said that you did. I just go ahead and, okay, I'm done. And she keeps trying for another minute or so, but I'm done. It's over. So she gives up. She flops over. I crawl out of the cocoon once I'm sure she's asleep, and I just wander around aimlessly through the campus for the rest of the night, just bewildered at the whole situation. Morning comes. I go to the room next door. 2 members of the Virgin Whore Union live in that room. I go into the room and I'm like, guys, I got bad news and I got worse news. And they're like, okay, what's the bad news? So I was like, well, I have to resign as president of the Virgin Whore Union. And they were like, oh no, why? What happened? Well, first, what's the worst news? And I said, well, the worst news is I think I got raped last night. And I'm laughing, you can laugh, it's fine. So I ask him, can I use your email? And I pull up an email and address it to Victoria Matthew, and I just say nothing else. I just say, I owe you $5. And the phone call that followed that was pretty great. But okay, so here's the kicker. I go back to my room where my rapist is sleeping, and I pull the curtains to the little cocoon that I've created, and I wake her up, and I say, good morning. And I must have had my best rape face on or something, I don't know. But she looks me dead in the eye and says the most amazing thing a human being has ever said to me in my life. And I grew up in Baltimore City. I've heard some messed up stuff. The exchange literally went like this. I said, good morning. She looks me in the eye and she says, oh, did I rape you last night? Honest to God. She said, did I rape you last night? So this has happened before? Like, this wasn't just like a drunken thing. This is like something you do on a regular basis. It's something I will never forget, obviously, and took a few years of therapy to get through. But I look at it with humor because that's how you survive life, isn't it? The darkest times in your life, if you can't make light of them, you're just not gonna make it. I mean, she gave me a gift. She gave me the greatest rape story ever told. So, I have to thank her for that, even though I really, honestly do not remember her name. Thank you, Rocket City. You guys have been great. I have been raped. I have also been Joel Elliott, and honestly, I love you.
Holy shit, you guys. That was the first timer I've ever seen one. First timer talking about his first time, talking about rape.
Mm-hmm.
Harsh stuff.